Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? It's not as windy today, but it's still windy. It's going to be a little bit easier to do this walk than yesterday. So that's a good thing. Well, we'll see when we get on the trail. It's a little bit lighter on the wind out here today. But welcome to episode number 1005. Yes, that's right. Episode number 1005 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live today from the San Francisco Bay Trail once again here at Bear Island in Redwood City, California, where I live. Today, we are going to reinforce the importance of self-love and self-respect to be successful in life. You need to have self-love and self-respect for life success. Now, before we get to that, let me see where these cars are going. Before we get to that, a few brief updates. Don and I just completed episode number 7 of our Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. And we were discussing, parents that use their children for monetary gain online, for profit online. And we had our two wonderful, very special guests from the G&A executive team, Tia and Sandra Palacio. If you're new here, welcome to the Genuine Networking Association, or G&A for short. We are an organization that helps people with their personal development, also known as personal improvement, self-help. And I'm the president and founder of the G&A. My girlfriend Dawn is the vice president. She's also the director of operations. And Sandra Palacio, who I've known for many, many years, over 7 years. We got some people popping on in, so we're going to come off to the side and just take some footage right here and wait for these people to walk on by. Give me just a second. ODN, Eli for President of the United States. No, thank you. I don't want that responsibility, brother. I can take on a lot of responsibility, but I wouldn't want the whole country hanging on my shoulders, bro. Although I can tell you one thing, even though I know you're a Trump supporter, I could do a far better job than Trump. I think just about anyone else on the planet. I think you could do a better job than Trump, ODN, to be honest with you. But hey, that's just my opinion, broski. Broski. I did my beard today, ODN, for the new podcast episode. I was beginning to look like a fucking grizzly bear, so did a little grooming today of my face. Don't take that word out of context, folks. It has multiple meanings. Definitely less wind today. There is wind, and I'm sure you're going to probably hear a little bit of it, but there is at least 50% less wind today than yesterday. Yesterday was just a crazy day. I was getting blown all over the fucking place, so, I gotta fix my beard. Yeah, well, whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever floats your boat. I gotta say, ODN, I gotta say that I really truly want you to know that I have always greatly appreciated you and respected you, despite all the ups and downs that we've encountered on the YouTube platform that really never involved us. I've never ever had any direct issues with you. I think you and I both, had some not so nice things to say when other people pinned and pitted us against each other years ago, several times as part of their content. But I'm not going to count that because it'd be stupid to count that, ODN. I think your head and heart's in the right place. And I think you're a pretty stellar type of person. And yeah, we've all made mistakes. We've all done stupid things. But I think your head and heart's in the right place. And I really appreciate that, bro. I don't support Trump anymore because of those two people. Hey, babe, how you doing? Hey there, guys. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, Don's in the house. How you doing, babe? There's about half the wind today of yesterday, so I'm sure you can hear me pretty well, right, babe? And yeah, ODN, I mean, here's the thing. The people that you mentioned there, I'll just say that. They're just like Trump. They're very unreasonable, right? They never accept responsibility for any of their actions, mistakes, shit like that. If you try to have a conversation with them, just like when people try to talk with Trump, they cut you off in the middle of your sentence because they can sense when you're about to say something that's going to probably call them out on their stupid shit or incriminate them, and they want to cut you off before you actually get a chance to call them out on their bullshit that they know is right. So, there are a lot of similarities between the people you mentioned there, ODN, and Donald J. Trump. So the fact that you don't support Trump anymore, that's has nothing to do with me. I can understand that. I can honestly understand that. Yes, my girlfriend Dawn. Yeah, all right. Cool. So yeah, episode number 7 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast was recorded earlier today. I believe it was 2 hours and 25 minutes long. Don and I, along with special guests Santa Palacio and Tia on the executive team. And we were talking about, parents that exploit their children for profit on the internet. Primarily, where? Right here, right where we're at, YouTube. YouTube, the new Hollywood, the digital Hollywood that's taken over the real Hollywood, right? Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. All right, so that's pretty much all of the community news that I've got. While I talk about today's topic, please feel free to ask any questions in the chat. If I feel they will bring value to the show, I will respond to them. If I don't respond to any particular questions, please don't get offended. It just is not in alignment with the topic today. Doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. It means that your question is not in alignment with the topic. Anyway, so today, I'm going to be talking about reinforcing, the importance of self-love and self-respect for everyone. Because that's what it takes to be successful in life. You have to start off by having self-love and self-respect. I've said it many times. I'm going to say it again. But, in spite of what transpired over the last few days in another community out here on YouTube. Not the typical one that's been coming at me for years, but in a different community. It's the same thing. Like all these communities have people in their live stream chats, some of them as moderators that the channel owner has chosen. And these are very, and I don't know how to say this without sounding mean or disrespectful. I'm just sharing the truth. These are some very lonely and miserable and unhappy people deep within themselves. And instead of getting the help that they need through therapy, or hanging out with friends in the real world, right? Or doing something more productive to, better themselves, they come out here on YouTube as an outlet. And they conglomerate with other people in the same position of lacking self-love, lacking self-respect, right? And they all appease each other. And they validate each other to lead each other to believe that their behavior is normal. So not only does their behavior never get corrected, it gets worse because they're being validated by other similar people. They're all validating each other that their behavior is normal. So it just keeps on getting worse, and the underlying issue or issues never get corrected, right? And these people come out here and see normal, average, everyday people like me creating real content, taking care of myself, say with my lady and other people we associate with. We're professional, we're down to earth, we're reasonable, right? We're healthy, we're happy, and all they do is they attack us, and they attack us for no reason, no valid reason. And a lot of times they'll say things that are not true, like this one lady in this other chat I was in the other day. Well, I was on the panel. I talked about it more so yesterday. This one lady kept calling me a criminal. She goes, "I ran your background check and you're a criminal." And I've never ever had any criminal history. I've never even had a speeding ticket or a parking ticket. Now, if I had a criminal history, I would own what I've done, and that'd be it. But I know 100%, million percent for a fact that I do not have a criminal history. But she felt the need to try to convince people that I'm some criminal when I'm not, because I popped onto a YouTube live stream that was discussing a topic that I'm very well versed on, right? So to people like that, the reason why they're behaving that way is because they lack self-love and they lack self-respect. They're probably very lonely and miserable. They're probably struggling, maybe financially. Maybe their family's not even talking to them, because if they had another outlet to go to outside of YouTube to deal with their issues, they would go there instead of coming out here to YouTube. They probably have tried to go to other outlets off of YouTube to deal with their issues. But every time somebody probably tried to help them, they would shut them out. So people said, "Hey, fuck you. I've tried to help you many times. You've come to me to try to help you. I've tried to tell you what the problem is, and all you've told me is fuck you. So now I'm just tired of trying 10, 20 times to help you, so now I'm going to tell you fuck you." Right? So when they have no other avenue as an outlet to talk about their issues, they come out here on YouTube and do that. That's the new way of doing things now. And I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen out here for, God, probably the last 5-6 years at least. As live streams became more and more popular out here on YouTube, that's when I started to see that happen. Hey, Hot Facts with Robert Reese, how you doing? ODN says Trump defunded PBS, my favorite programming. Well, Trump can't defund anyone. Trump's trying to take away Harvard's tax exempt status, and he can't legally do that. He won't do that. Trump even posting that on social media is against the law. You can't threaten, any organization to take away their tax exempt status just because you don't align with exactly everything they're trying to do. I mean, what a bunch of hogwash. And PBS is funded by the people, ODN. They might have some government sponsorships or grants. If that's the case, maybe he took that away. I don't know. I haven't heard that. I'll look into it. But PBS, Public Broadcasting Service, is primarily funded by donations from their viewers. I believe PBS is also a tax-exempt nonprofit organization here in the U.S. Dorothy, you're attempting to use block words on here. So I'm assuming you're trying to say something really, really nasty at me because you don't like what I'm saying. You're not blocked yet because you haven't been able to get a word, yet you're using block words on my block word list. So what do you want to say, Dorothy? Hot Facts with Robert Reese says, many people get self-love confused with conceitedness. People gave to respect the fact that you can love yourself. You're right, Robert. There's nothing conceited about self-love and self-respect. And I'll clarify it once again because, like Robert just mentioned, there's nothing conceited or arrogant about having self-love. Because self-love is deep within yourself. When you get up in the morning, like I said this yesterday and I've said this before many times, every morning you get up and you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you do your morning, hygiene routine. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself 5 freaking times. And that'll psych you up to feel like you're on top of the world and you're ready to go. Now, once you get out into the world, you're going to leave your place and go out regardless of what you have to do that day, whether it's work a day job, work a gig economy job, be a YouTuber, whatever the hell you are, you're going to go out there and you're going to have a positive attitude. Now, you don't go out there and if you meet someone, you say, hi, my name is Eli and I love myself and you should love me too. No, that's not what you do. You say that to yourself before you leave your place or as you're driving to where you're going to. You think that in your head. You convince yourself that you have so much self-love deep within that no matter what anyone says or does to you will not affect you, will not kick you down, and you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires on that particular day or any day, any given day, right? I was just saying the lady who said you have a record probably has a worse record than yours. Well, let me tell you something, Dorothy. Any record is a worse record than mine because I have 0 record. I've got nothing. Oh, the only thing I have on my record is I have 1 bankruptcy 14, 15 years ago. It cleared up. I rebuilt my credit, and my credit's perfect again. Besides that, there's no criminal history. There's nothing there. Not a speeding ticket, not a parking ticket, nothing. But here's the thing, Dorothy and everyone else. It doesn't matter to me what any particular person thinks about me. Whether their information is accurate or not, someone else's opinion of myself or anyone else doesn't define who I am or doesn't define any other person that they may be talking about. It's clearly just their opinion. And like I've said before many times, the only opinion about yourself or of yourself that really matters is your own. The only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. Right? But see, why do I talk about a lot of these things on YouTube? You know, people say, hey, Eli, why don't you ignore this stuff? I do. I technically do. But I also teach how to handle this stuff. And these people, the more mistakes they make, the more examples I use them as. Right? YouTube is the perfect place to use people as an example of what not to be sometimes. In rare cases, when people do good things, then we can use them as an example of what a good person, is like or should be like, right? So, nothing wrong with sharing stories of your experiences dealing with people as the perfect examples of teaching self-help, personal development, also known as personal improvement. Nothing wrong with that. How's the audio today? The wind is still here, but it's about half the strength as it was yesterday. So, there's still some wind, I'll show you. But the gusts are not as bad today. Not nearly as bad. Sunset now is shortly after 8 p.m. So this is really, really good. Really good. I'm in a great mood today. Very, very good mood today. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, my girlfriend Dawn says, sounds great, much better. Oh, yeah, babe, yesterday, if you were out here, because, babe, you only weigh like $110. $110. You know how they say, when they say a baseball player is very thin, oh, he only weighs $150 or $160, right? It means 150, 160 pounds. You weigh $110, 110 pounds. And, babe, you would have been blown to smithereens yesterday, I'll tell you that. You were already hearing the wind at the house. So, my lady and I tonight are having hot dogs from our favorite local hot dog restaurant, Ben Frank's. The last standing location in the Bay Area. It was a long time Bay Area chain since I was a little kid. Locations all over the Bay Area, and all of them closed except for one. This very, very nice Indian man. I think he had owned it for a little while, and when the franchise closed, he just kept it going. And I'll tell you, I mean, his prices are reasonable for the times. And the quality is like ballpark quality. Now, Don will say there's nothing better than ballpark quality, but I will say that Ben Frank's makes really good quality food. Really great shakes. They use real ice cream. You can get malt in them, which makes them taste better. So we're going to have that tonight. ODN says... Sorry, ODN, I missed that message. I'll look at it right now. Trump signed an executive order late Thursday to end public funding of National Public Radio and PBS to stop what he called biased and partisan news coverage. Trump is a fucking idiot, ODN. Trump, I've never seen any president that signs executive orders regarding any business for-profit or non-profit organization, right? Trump thinks if a business is a non-profit organization that's not paying taxes, if it's not in alignment with what he likes or believes in, or if they aren't saying the nicest things about him, which Trump doesn't deserve anyone saying nice shit about him anyway, then he threatens to take away their tax exempt status. You think that's going to hold, ODN? That's not going to hold. An executive order is not going to do shit. If you're going to try to take someone's tax-exempt license away, you have to give them due process. Trump does not believe in due process, ODN. You know what due process is, right? I asked that to some other person here in the chat earlier this past week. Trump does not believe in due process. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Tia. How's it going? Great to see you here. Thank you again for being one of our 2 guests on the podcast earlier. It's already uploaded to YouTube and ready to go for Wednesday. Tomorrow I will extract the audio from the video and upload it to the podcasting network, my podcast hosting provider, and then boom, that'll be ready to go too. Great show, and we're going to do a part 2 on that show next month. It's going to be freaking fantastic. I think I might only do 3 out of the 3.5 miles today. I don't think I'm going to go all the way to the end because I want to get back a little sooner and spend time with Melas and the dogs. And Don and I have been going to bed very early lately, and we've been getting up around 6 or 7 a.m., huh, Don? And just getting things done. Boom, 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 boom. Just getting things done. One thing after the other. I'm going to step on over here. And there's somebody coming. I'm going to wait for them to pass. So I'm going to sit here for a second. Let's see here. TS says you're welcome. Yes, a lot of info on that subject. Yeah, a lot of info. And there's a lot more to talk about it, you know? I mean, we barely scratched the surface in a 2-hour and 25-minute podcast. And you see, Tia, you know, here's the thing. And I'm just going to use you as an example because, I mean, you're a very smart person. And I know you're not as experienced at doing these things. Like you were wondering, oh, were you going to be prepared for this? You know, are you going to have enough to talk about? And, you know, a good host is going to lead the guests to a great conversation. Because this is one thing I'm going to try to teach people that are guests on podcasts to understand. That you're a guest on that podcast to bring value to that podcast. And if that podcast host or the podcast hosts, in this case, Don and I, if we don't lead you to have a good interview and it be an engaging conversation, then we're going to look even worse than you. Because then people are going to ask us, why would you bring someone on your show that couldn't do a good job, right? So, you know, you did a great job, Tia. And you had a lot to say, and I knew you would have a lot to say. Tia says, hey, ODN. ODN says, hi, Tia. Tia, ODN just stopped supporting Donald J. Trump. He's mad at Trump for signing executive orders to try to National Public Radio, NPR, and PBS, Public Broadcasting Service. And let me tell you folks something. Executive orders don't mean shit. They don't mean a damn thing. If you're going to try to take action against something, you have to go to court and you have to give it due process. Oh, wow. Boy Elroy. Boy Elroy, you sound familiar. It's been a while. Are you on a different account here? I'm not being threatened by anyone, and if I am, I don't know about it, and I don't care. But Boy Elroy, what does it matter? Does it matter if some knuckleheads on YouTube don't have any other content besides trying to make up shit about me to keep their small audience around, and the few of them that are paying them lots of money for that content. I mean, threatening me, who cares? Let them run their mouths, man. You are their life. Of course I am, brother. Of course I am. How you been, by the way? What's been going on? Dorothy says, only a dictator would want to get rid of due process. There's no reason for that other than people who want to dictate others. Right. Well, what they call that is an authoritarian president. And even Trump, he did a bunch of interviews, for his first 100 days in office last week. And everyone was questioning him about the authoritarian type of leadership, and he denied that. Trump, you are an authoritarian. You are. I swear to God, man. I swear to God, I think Trump is trolling us. I think I've been right all along that this whole entire administration for the 4 years is a big troll by Trump. It's a big troll. Thank you, Tia. Thank you for that, Tia. Whoosh, whoosh, how you doing? You changed your picture. Do you ever know... So do you even know why Trump revoked Harvard's tax-exempt status? Yeah, isn't it over like the Muslim thing or the Jew thing, whatever it was? It doesn't matter, Whoosh. He can't revoke a tax-exempt status without due process. Even if Harvard Law was abusing their tax ID, which they're not, because the tax ID status has nothing to do with what they do. It has to do with how they're using, how they're running their business, and are they filing their taxes the proper way? Is everything they're doing tax exempt? And it is. You can't tell people, what they can and can't do in their own nonprofit organization. It's a cause-based organization for the better good of people, for research, education, etc. So what are you going to try to say to woo me today? To lead me to believe that, Trump going after Harvard's tax-exempt status is legitimate. Because even if it was, he can't do it. He can't do it as the president. You can't incite the IRS. Hey, IRS, because I'm the president, go and audit Harvard and plant something in their tax documents that incriminates them. Plant evidence, IRS, because I'm the president. The KKK will never be tax exempt, for example. That's a stupid example, though, Whoosh. Of course the KKK will never qualify for tax exempt status, for a nonprofit status. Come on, dude. What the hell, man? Jesus Christ, man. Dorothy says, just the fact that he wants to get rid of due process in several instances is a disregard of your constitutional right. That's true. Why would anybody want to support him if they support the Constitution? That's a great question. That's what I've been saying all along. That's what a lot of other people have been saying. This is not about left versus right. This is about right versus wrong. I mean, this has nothing to do with political party preference or choice. This has to do with what's right and what's wrong. I mean, God, man. Any American that believes in due process should have an issue with Trump not believing in due process. It is your constitutional right, including going after a very prestigious organization, Harvard Law, one of the best law schools in the country, that has also done a lot of great research that's helped the United States. I mean, I've never seen any president go after all these different types of businesses and organizations, law firms, etc., that he doesn't like. Like, I swear to God. And then he posts on Truth Social, because he owns it, right? He posts on social media like a little girl would, right? I'm going after Harvard's tax exempt status. I brought down the prices of eggs and all. No, you didn't. That had nothing to do with you. That was already an ongoing issue before that. And while some areas may be seeing prices go down a little bit, that's not how it is everywhere. That's not how it is here. Now, prices haven't gone up significantly, but they have gone up. They have gone up. Harvard is radically discriminating in its admission. That is just a matter of fact. Okay, whoosh whoosh. So let me give you that. Let's say, let me give you that for the sake of argument, right? For the sake of argument, let's say Harvard Law is discriminating in their admission process, right? So are you telling me that Harvard Law is not entitled under the Constitution to due process to see if that's actually happening or not? Does President Trump have a unilateral say and final decision about Harvard Law's tax exempt status? Or if what you're saying is actually happening, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say, let's say that's happening. Are they not entitled to due process as part of their constitutional rights? And start heading back. Pete, he's not a king. No, he's not. No, he's not a king at all. Now, whoosh, whoosh, I know you believe in the Constitution, and I know you believe in due process. But you're just like the other MAGAs, and I'm just saying this respectfully. You're just like the other MAGAs. Like, you're so far up Trump's ass that even when you know he's blatantly wrong about something, you find a way to make it seem like he's right. I have no problem with you supporting Trump. Tia supports Trump, but she's not a MAGA, and she doesn't like everything he does, but she supports him. And I don't have a problem with anyone supporting Trump. I just don't. I think he's a piece of shit, but that's my opinion. You're entitled to yours, right? No answer to that? You don't think that Harvard Law is entitled to due process? Oh man, thank God for due process, I'll tell you that. Because due process will also find out when people are filing frivolous lawsuits. And that gives more information to make certain people that are known to file nothing but frivolous lawsuits to make them a vexatious litigant, meaning that the courts would have to pre-approve any cases they file before you can even file them to even serve the respondent or defendant. Whoosh, whoosh. My entire point is that there is established law and legal precedent for what Trump is doing to Harvard. No, there isn't. You're out of your damn mind. So many people have talked about this. What established law is there? Even if there is established law, Harvard law is entitled to due process. They cannot do anything until they go to court. Is it a fair statement to say that no matter what Trump tries to do to take away their tax exempt status, that they are entitled to a court hearing? I'm a little drunk, so I hope I'm making sense. There is a law against racial discrimination. Of course there is. And I said, for the sake of argument, whoosh, whoosh, I don't care how drunk you are. For the sake of argument, even if Harvard law is violating that law, are you saying that they're not entitled to due process and have their day in court to prove otherwise? I mean, if I accused you of something, whoosh, whoosh, should it just be true? If I accused you of something, should it just be true and then you be prosecuted for it? Or are you happy that the Constitution allows you due process and to have your day or days in court to defend yourself, right? Come on, dude. This is the kind of dumb shit that I can't stand, man. This is the kind of dumb shit that just really just God, man. God, these people, man. YouTube people, man. God, man. I mean, there are a lot of good people out here too, but there are also a lot of very, very miserable people, lonely, miserable people that talk out of their ass. I mean, it's just, God, man. God, Jesus. Even my woman's beginning to see the light now. She's like, okay, we'll just, use it as example purposes. Right. That's exactly what created the example purpose for Eli. Because all my examples have been fucking spot on. Grotesque Subhuman 3, how you doing, bro? Hi, Eli. I just got back inside from cutting my lawn. I had to do some edging and sweeping up as well. Yeah, I got a lot of cleaning to do in the house. It's just been a very busy week. Don and I, we clean a little bit every day, but we got to do some deep cleaning. We got to do the rug soon with the bigger deep cleaning Bissell, and then use the smaller Bissell and mop the floors again and all that. So, when you have dogs that are indoors most of the time, and we like having them indoors, you got to clean more often. So I get it, man. Hope your day's going well. Actually, I'm feeling really good today. I was feeling a little tired earlier, but I'll tell you, now just getting out here and walking the trail, and it's not as windy. The wind has kind of calmed down now. It's so much easier to do these shows when there's not high wind. But yeah, we're talking about self-love and self-respect. And Grotesque Subhuman 3 says, thanks, Eli, my day was okay. I pray for peace in your life. I have peace in my life, dude. I do. You have to understand something, man. I think you, like many other people, have seen the crazies on YouTube do their crazy shit. And quite frankly, like I said last year, Grotesque Subhuman 3, last year I was preparing for 2025 to be the year of the GNA, my organization, the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. I was preparing for it. And I got everything prepared. And I plugged pretty much all the loopholes. Because when you're dealing with some people that are desperate to continue the facade of using your content, right? And they'll do whatever it takes to keep more content coming at your name and your expense. When you plug all those loopholes, and there's less and less and less and less they can do, then they have to keep amping things up, and it's going to get to the point of where there's nothing to even amp up anymore, and they're just going to keep on looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, Grotesque? Yeah, you know, some troll wants to come in here and say something that's definitely not true. And I heard about some guy that's actually not blocked here. He's probably going to be blocked again soon anyway. That, you know, he's basically saying things that are not true, that's slanderous, right? Because him and his people are desperate for attention. I'm going to address this right now because this is how fucking stupid these people are. Okay, first of all, my woman is not on any government assistance. Okay? It's none of your fucking business, but she's not. And she's not the breadwinner in the relationship, and even if she was, I wouldn't care. We both are doing just fine. Let me put it to you that way. But it's just stupid. Right? It's stupid because there's no record of anything because it doesn't exist, and it hasn't happened. But see, you stupid motherfuckers want to continue to have content to talk about me. Talk about me all you want. Make up all the shit you want. I don't care. Don doesn't care. Nobody cares. You're fucking stupid. Right? You're desperate to keep the Eli facade going, right? I'll tell you what, soon you'll have something else to talk about. You can talk about something else, right? Soon you'll have something else to talk about. That's all good, whatever. Exactly, Dorothy. He stalks homie and his woman every day. It's like he's a leech stuck to your side, says Dorothy. It's so weird they feel entitled to your content in the first place. No, it's not that. It's they have one person that I may have to go after legally, Silicone J.O. Jace. I know exactly who he is. He's paying them a lot of money to keep it going because he's a spoiled, entitled 40-year-old millennial that inherited a property given to him by his family and a little bit of money. And he made a little money in the high-tech world, but he's no longer doing it. Right? He jerks off on YouTube all day, wasting his money trying to get people to trash talk me. So, I mean, there may be a legal case on him down the road, but that's all. That's all. They're just doing it for the money, and it's all those people. It's not a big deal, right? They're all going to have their day. They're all going to have their day with God too, right? And they're going to, you know where they're going to go? They're going to go straight to fucking hell. That's the truth of the matter, right? Right? Here's the thing. I'll tell you what, Mr. Haters, Josh, whatever the fuck your name is, if it allows you to sleep better at night to think that my woman is on disability insurance and that she's the breadwinner, then go right the fuck ahead and think that. But see, you know that's not true. You know whatever evidence you think you put out, and plus, even if that were to be true, which is not, they would not give you that information. Is not available. It's private information. I used to sell insurance, remember? You moron, you nincompoop. And if you're looking for me to slip and say something that validates that or not, there's no need to slip. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And even if it did, who gives a fuck? What's the big fucking deal, motherfucker? What's the big deal, dude? You're a pathetic piece of garbage, dude. You're pathetic, dude. All of you conspiring together because you're losing all the traction. You've lost everything. It's stupid, man. I get to be the jail guard in hell for them. Well, you're not going to go to hell, ODN. LMAO, I got my half in 2010. I don't get shit now. Oh, Tia, I'm going to unban Dennis Jerome Jr. I'm going to unban Dennis Jerome Jr. You banned him by mistake. He said tomorrow at 2 p.m. Robert Reese, are we going? Are we going to do a show with you, Dennis, and I tomorrow on your channel, Robert? Oh, I misread what they said. What they're saying is that your ex-husband, who's a cop, babe, is retired, and that you've gotten half his pension. No, you fucking morons. Dawn's already talked about that. That was part of the divorce settlement. She got a little bit of that at that time. That's case closed. It'd be nice if she were to get half of that thing. She deserves it, but she's not going to get it. Look at how dumbasses. Look at how desperate these people are for content, babe. Do you see how stupid this is? Wow, man, I've never seen people like make up so much shit about two people on the internet they're just trying to help people. Like this is pathetic, man. They're getting paid by Silicone Jace to do this. You're a fucking loser, Silicone. Loser, dude. Loser, man. You're the biggest loser around. You're actually worse than the people creating the content because you're wasting your family's fucking money on this shit. What a stupid ass this guy is. They're clinging for straws, says Dorothy. I have lots of errands tomorrow. I'm going to do that show with Dennis. Dennis, you're unblocked. I'm sorry, you got blocked by mistake, Dennis. Dennis Jerome Jr. is fine, Tia. I know you didn't know that. His obsession with you is wild. I bet they have a Discord. They all sit around and talk about you like obsessed fangirls. No, they do. They've had that for years. That's why I don't do Discord anymore. I think it's stupid. $2K Baby Sniper, hot facts. It is embarrassing to be on your live stream. Well, I'm going to ban you for that. Even though Robert probably wouldn't ban you on his channel for saying something like that, even if it was rude towards him. I respect Robert. When you come in here and you fucking attack one of my moderators, I'll personally give you the exit, give you the boot. Right? Self-love and self-respect is non-existent deep within these people. That's why they do what they do. If they had something else to live for, they would focus on that. They would spend their money on that, right? They would invest their time on that. But no. These people are really, really, really hurting deep within. I honestly feel sorry for them. I really do. I feel sorry for them. That doesn't give them a free pass. I just feel sorry for them. They need help. Drama 2, how are you doing? Yeah, but Sarah, that's not true. I would love it if Dawn got an extra payment from her ex. That's not happening. Dawn deserves. Dawn got really screwed over in her divorce. Dawn and I would be happy to get that, but we're not getting that. So I don't. Let me ask you this, Sarah. You talked about it yesterday. You talked about it today, right? What's the big deal about all this? You yourself know this is not true. And even if it was, we would come out here, yeah, cool, yeah, we got some extra money, but we don't. We don't. It'd be nice to have that extra money, but we don't. We're not getting that money. And plus, that information is private information. We have no idea if the guy's retired or not. So what is the purpose here? You know this is all just drama, Sarah. Sarah, do you understand that people make things up? Come on, Sarah. Sarah, to be honest with you, it kind of bugs me a little bit that you're going along with this when you yourself know it's bullshit. Like, you know it's bullshit. So why are you going along with it? It's an honest question. I know, I'm just telling you what they are saying. I can speak for myself. It's false. Stop falling for stupid shit. Eli, who's talking about me? It was, let me see, Robert. 2K Baby Sniper. It was the account, Robert. It's none of no one's business how Dawn gets her money. What if I'm the one providing for Dawn right now? What does it matter? See, what does it fucking matter to this group of people? And why are we even talking about this? It's stupid. I just responded to a troll and I said, hey, if it allows you to sleep better at night, to think what you think, and to think that Mr. Haters Inc. put out some false information about me and Dawn, which is called slander, dude. Which I don't care, dude. I'm not wasting my time with you on anything, dude. You're not going to get any hits off my name, dude. You're not. Your content is pathetic. Your channel is pathetic. You're not going to leech off my name. And you know what you're trying to do, haters? You're trying to get on the payroll of Silicone. And you're just pathetic, dude. You're pathetic, man. Pathetic people. That's right, Sarah. It's nobody's business. Be smarter than that, Sarah. HF, they said that she is getting a payout from her ex's retirement. They also claim that Dawn is the breadwinner and paying for Eli's court expenses. What court expenses is she paying? So what court expenses are you paying for me, babe? The only court expenses I've had so far are $40 each for 2 cases in small claims copyright court. That's $80. So there are no other expenses that have been incurred at this point. Bullshit. Just stop already. If that was Dennis, he knows how his ass is. It's not Dennis. Dennis came in here earlier and he was saying tomorrow. This is what Dennis said. Let me go back because Tia hit him by mistake and I unhit him. Where are you, Dennis? Man. There. I'm busy working, so I have to go, but my final response to you is tomorrow, 2 p.m. Hope to help you get over your anger. Oh, no, he's putting a response out to me tomorrow. Oh, so you're going to, oh, so Dennis, instead of us getting together with Robert and having a nice conversation amongst good people to sort this all out, you want to do a video response to me. That's fine, bro. Do what you got to do. I'll check it out when I can, and hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe you'll give me another show. I don't know. SB player. Hey, Sarah, listen to this. They're trying to enlist you. I know this is bullshit, Sarah. This is how funny it is. Because you are mad, we all believe haters is the channel name. We know where you got the balance to pay off Florida woman. Yeah, I got it out of my account. And then they said from Dawn, SB, they had to put ETHB because I even have SB blocked. Play your cards right, and you can get on the payroll lot too. Sarah's going to stay off the payroll. I sure as hell hope she does. I sure as hell hope you stay off the payroll, Sarah. Sarah, I'm going to give you the benefit of that. Okay? You still there, Drama 2? Oh, God. These people are pathetic. They're the most pathetic losers I've ever come across. And they're getting entertained by some dude in the Bay Area that walks the trail. I left the payroll a long time ago. You were very honest about that, too. You even said, I'm on the payroll, too. And then you left the payroll. I remember when you all left the payroll. But you're not on the Silicone JO payroll. But we do know there are 2 people on there. And another one, Mr. Haters, is what do you call it? Is auditioning. That's the right word. I couldn't think of the right word. Mr. Haters is auditioning for the payroll by making up shit that Dawn is my cash cow that pays off all my bills and my debts. There are some auditioning currently, of course. So they're making up bullshit because Silicone gets off on the bullshit, right, Sarah? Come on, Sarah. You know, listen. You know I know this shit just as well as you do. You know that. You know that. I'm dying. I'm literally dying out of laughter. It's all fake instigated drama. You know what's even funny, Sarah? Says the channel that calls themselves Drama Unleashed. That's great. That's fucking great. The irony in that is just, it's just, I can't even walk anymore. I'm gonna fall over. I got people coming. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for a second here. Oh man, I should have stopped taking all this bullshit seriously a long time ago. I take seriously what needs to be taken seriously. Thank you for the 9 thumbs up. My channel is one of the only ones that is honest about what it is. So you're saying you're the honest drama exposing channel. You typically are. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You have helped a lot of people negotiate, stuff. I have seen that in the past. So, yeah, that is true. I don't think she would sink that low to be on that payroll. That would be pretty low. No, I agree. Oh no. Um, Nick, I know who you are. I'm not going to say your last name. It starts with a G, right? That's just terrible. I know exactly who that is. You just don't stop, dude. You just think this is all one big fucking joke, right? Some things are a joke with you, but some things they're not a joking matter. They're not. You want to come in here and use the Nick G account again, huh? Or make a new Nick G account, right? You know the derogatory N word for an African American man? Nick, and then the last name is Gerz. That's just the dumbest shit ever, man. I mean, I'm not laughing at my African American friends. I'm laughing at the fact that some stupid ass millennial would just get off on that still years later. The same guy. There was a channel called Nero Trigger, and he duplicated his account and called it Nero Nigga. I mean, God, man. Oh, God. Anyway. A real man would admit his girlfriend is the breadwinner. If she was the breadwinner, I'd have no problem saying that. I'd have no problem saying that. But I would never just have her only be the breadwinner. I would still be doing my part, but that's simply not true. You can try harder for your audition with silicone. See, I'm not coming after you legally, haters, because you're just not worth my time. So you can get away with making up fake shit about me, whatever. Do what you got to do. It's not a big deal, dude. You're just making yourself look stupid. I would love to find a girl who is the breadwinner. Dude, you should do your part and she should do her part. Now, there are certain exceptions to every rule. Okay? And sometimes when people are going through a lot of things medically, they need to take some time away from work until they get better. So in that case, there's nothing wrong with somebody, taking care of their partner until they get better. And then once they're better, they can start bringing in an income again. Nothing wrong with that, dude, but I wouldn't say that, bro. I think you're joking. I want to find a woman that's the breadwinner. Well, she wouldn't respect you, dude, if she was the breadwinner. Maybe if you were at least bringing in something close to what she was making or equal to what she was making, but if she's the only one bringing in money and you're doing nothing but playing video games and jerking off all day, then, she's not going to respect that, dude. Come on, man. You're better than that. Nothing wrong with the woman making more. Oh, Sarah, there's technically nothing wrong with the woman making more, but let's be real here, Sarah. You're from the Gen X days, like Dawn and I. Nothing wrong with the woman making more, but it's going to be more difficult for her to respect her man that she severely out-earns. Or let's say you make all the money and he makes nothing. Right? I think no matter what any woman would say, here publicly right now. I think they would feel differently in that situation if they were the sole provider and breadwinner of the family and the man was making nothing and playing video games and jerking off all day. I don't think that would fly too well. I don't think you'd be able to respect that man. And I don't think he would stick around that long. And I wouldn't blame you. But nothing wrong with women working and having a purpose other than making babies and being housewives or homemakers, right? I get that. That's the whole point right there. Grotesque Subhuman 3. Women can make a lot more than men nowadays. They can. And I mean, both men and women have equal opportunities. They can. Nurses during COVID were making hundreds of thousands a year. I can rebuild engines and cars and fix appliances, so I would be great at staying home and doing the plumbing and electrical and car repair work. Well, you run your own business, dude. If you have a woman that's a nurse making 150 grand a year, and what if you're making 150 grand a year running your own business doing repairs? That's great, right? That doesn't mean she's the breadwinner or you're the breadwinner. That means you both are equally contributing to the household. Thank you for taking care of that. I'm sure Sarah would have taken care of that of herself. Don, that was really rude. Not you, Don. That was really rude what was said. Drama Unleashed 2 says, it is a different world, Eli. Stay-at-home dads are a thing. I understand that, Sarah, but the women don't respect that. At least after a while, they would not respect that. Nowadays, the problem is men are pathetically weak. They are afraid to stand up to women, even when a woman is wrong. Women will purposefully shit test men by doing stupid things to see if men have the spine to call them out. And when they don't, they know that they own you and they know that they're going to have their way with you and they're not going to respect you and they're going to use you and then they're going to kick you to the curb and find someone else that they can respect that has the balls to stand up to their stupid shit. That's not abusive. I mean, don't be mean or rude to women. Don't call them names, bitches, or anything. But stand up for yourself. Have a fucking spine. A working mom. Who would want a stay-home dad? A working mom. God, Sarah. Sarah's having fun today. Oh boy. I look forward to getting those hot dogs from Ben Frank's. Yeah, you gotta have self-love and self-respect, folks. FB, tell us all the details on Eli's embezzlement. Have fun and get coin. Come to the JO site, Sarah. That was all fake instigated drama. Oh my God. Oh my God, these people will believe. It's not that they don't believe anything. They just say whatever they think is going to get a reaction from me or trigger me. And I know it's not true. It's just stupid. What I'm laughing at right now is the fact that they're so desperate to try everything to get the same reactions. They're not getting all that. And they've correct me if I'm wrong, Drama 2, that They've really, really lost a lot of their game. And they're trying very, very, very hard to at least get it back to what it somewhat was. That's just how I see it. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Yup. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this. If Sarah wants to go over there and, you know, I'd even give her my blessing to do this because she probably still wouldn't do it. But I would give her my blessing to go over there and make up bullshit about this embezzlement thing, say that it's true just to take Silicone's money, and then take his money and say, fuck you, I lied, but I still have your money, right? I'd love to see that shit. I really would. I really would. But see, I don't play like that. Do I understand the game? Could I play the game? I could play the game better than all you motherfuckers and destroy all of you stupidly, but I just don't want to play the game. Oh, they both have you blocked? Really? Actually, let me come over here for a second. Are they mad at you because you're over here? Because you're trying to cleanse your soul of stupid shit, Sarah? And they're mad at you because you're not there supporting their FID, fake instigated drama, right? That's funny. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at them. The sun's going down. Look at that. That's a beautiful sunset. It really is. They are stuck on stupid. What can I say? Well, Dom was right all along. That's all I can say. Don't worry. A lot of good stuff's coming soon. A lot of good stuff's coming soon. It's all good. Hey, S. FYI, there's a first come, first served bounty for the first content creator to get a live YouTube interview with Don's ex husband. The coin could be yours if you can talk him into it. I'm going to get rid of them. The coin could be yours if you can talk Don's ex-husband into an interview. First of all, that dude would not waste his fucking time on your stupid asses. He just wouldn't do that. Are these people coming on the trail? Oh, yeah, they are. So I'm going to have to pull up to this side. Give me a second here. That woman got really mad at me because I agree with Eli about the Midwesterners being like the scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz, LOL. Yeah, well, there's a lot of truth to the behavior of people from the Midwest and the South here in the U.S. compared to like the blue states and the red states. It's like we're like worlds apart in our own technically united country. It's just I just I had always heard about that division, but until I came out here on YouTube and started seeing how those people from the red states behave compared to blue state people, wow, it's like night and day. Now, it's not everyone. There's an exception to every rule. I'm not blanketing everyone in that, but the majority of the people in those states, the red and blue states, what I'm saying about the stereotype is true. It absolutely is true. A nice walk tonight, and it looks like the wind has died down significantly. I came at the right time. And tomorrow there will probably be very little wind. Dawn and I are probably going to do another walk together a couple of days. So keep it locked here to GNA2, Genuine Life Personal Development for that. Man. You want to scare Kappas? It's you on tape. Do you want to shut the fuck up with your stupidity? Like honestly. Go back to your underground layer, dude. Even a Midwesterner, I can't even read what you wrote there, dude. Sense of personal space is different from a northerner's. Positivity. Why do you think some people become so envious of seeing another man walk around with this woman to where they have to obsess over it? My woman just banned you because it's a stupid question. The answer to your stupid question is it all boils down to money and one person paying them money. Because, it's like there's really nothing to talk about. And people are scraping to just find anything that can supposedly remotely make me look bad. And it just doesn't hold the same water at all anymore. It never really held any water in the first place. But it's become a very comical thing, right? Start getting your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in a few minutes here, like less than 5 minutes. I got to get gas tomorrow. Fortunately, gas prices have not gone down or up here. They've stayed steady. They're still, for a regular unleaded, it's about $4.40 a gallon, and for super, it's $5.10. Dorothy says real quick, do you think you can tell us how all of this has affected you? I mean, all the stuff you've been dealing with on social media for the past 6 years or so. I've talked about that many times. Are you actually new here, Dorothy? I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, and that would take quite a long time to explain, like an entire show. And I've done that many times, so I don't want to bore the audience, but the bottom line is you first have to figure out what people are doing, and then once you figure it out, you have to figure out what the best way is to stop it. And it's typically ignoring it. But when people have been violating your copyright and rebroadcasting your live streams while you're live, it's hard to stop that when you're doing a live stream walking, right? So, it requires you to take other methods to handle the situation. It's a fair question. I've seen you. I feel as if it is important to reiterate what they have done so they can be reminded as to what they're doing. Well, they already know what they've done, and they've been reminded many times. And again, I don't know if you're someone that is new, or you could be someone that's been trolling all along and now you're trying to amp things up. So there's no need to remind. And I'm beginning to really think that, Dorothy, you are a troll. If you think Dorothy's a troll, put a one in the chat. Tia, go ahead and ban Dorothy. Tia or Don, go ahead and ban Dorothy. Yep. Again, that was the Louisiana guy in the lair pretending to be somebody real, and then at the very end, before going off the air, they start to amp up the questions that make them appear like they're a known troll. You'll have your day, underground layer guy, trailer park trash guy. You'll have your day. You will. It's all good, dude. Not a big deal. I gotta go, folks. Love you all. We're leaving 30 people in the box. Lots more coming. Lots of news coming up ahead. I'll tell you, lots of news coming up ahead this week, next week. It's going to be a lot of good stuff happening. Keep it locked here. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.